What's up, Rich Squad? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Dominic Rich, and I'm back to do a recap of the 2019 AFC Asian Cup quarterfinals. All four fixtures. I know I didn't do a recap of, yesterday's games, but I figured I'll do them all at once, take a little break. So, just here with another live stream, waiting for people to join. So in the meantime, let me, gather some valuable information. Okay. All right. So we got a few people up in here. What's up? Welcome back to the channel. Let me wait until the stream gets populated a bit. Someone already disliked the video. Wow. You have a troll. But if you're up in here right now, say what's up. What's up, AVJ123? Welcome back to the channel, bro. It's been a long time. But I'm just here to discuss the Asian Cup, 2019 Asian Cup quarterfinal fixture. All right, so we have Mr. Minimax up in here, Miguel Bush. We have Morteza up in here. Who else we got here? We got a few more people with Arabic names. I can't say those names. Omar M, what's up? What's up to everyone up in here right about now, man? If you haven't smashed the thumbs up button yet, please do so. Really appreciate it. Guys, I took a break yesterday. I should have actually, recapped those two games. But I said, you know what, man? Let me do it all at once. Since I was off from work yesterday, off from work today, I said, let me use yesterday as a, a chill day. And I actually dropped the Copa America video, draw reaction video. So I said, you know what? I don't want to be too hard on myself. So let me just make that the only release of the day. But guys, we are back to talk about the Asian Cup, man. We are here to talk about the Asian Cup. So let's take a look at all four fixtures. The Vietnam versus Japan, China, Iran, South Korea, Qatar, and the UAE versus Australia match. If we go back at my predictions, we see how many I got right, how many I got wrong. So for the Vietnam-Japan, I predicted a 2-1 win for Japan after extra time. They actually went on to win the game 1-0 with the help of VAR. They got a penalty, which Ritsu Doan scored, and that was the only goal of the game. I think that Vietnam really, went out there and represented themselves very well. They tested, Japan, and it only took, a very, let's say, a soft penalty to give Japan the victory for them to advance to the semifinals. So Vietnam now out of the competition. They played really, really well. It would have been very fitting to see them qualify for the semis because they do deserve to make it to the semis with the way they performed, So if they made it to the semis, we couldn't say, they were lucky because Japan hasn't been great at the tournament and they just keep picking up results after results. They have won all their games by slim 1-goal margin every single game in the tournament. So they have not been that convincing. Football Pharaoh even texts me to say, oh, Japan won again, very unconvincingly. I was like, yeah, man, that's the way it is, But a win is a win. Let's not take anything away from them. You know, Vietnam, they had their chances, you know, pressed the trigger too fast, you know, did not time their shots properly, and none ended up in the back of the net. But for Vietnam, 12 shots at goal, 4 on target, comparing to Japan's 11 shots at goal, 6 on target. So not a large disparity there. Japan bossed the possession with 69% comparing to 31% by Vietnam. Japan 709 passes compared to Vietnam's 327. So Vietnam, they were on the back foot for most of the game, but I think they still, you know, represented themselves very, very well and put in a really good, you know, defensive effort. Only one goal they conceded, a penalty, so not bad at all. The game wasn't as feisty as I thought it would have been more feisty. 17 fouls, only 2 yellow cards shown, you know, very, very disciplined by both teams. You know, it was basically Japan going at Vietnam for most of the time, Vietnam counter-attacking, you know, so that tells the tale of the whole match. So Japan won, Vietnam 0. Win Kong Fong, he had a few chances to punish Japan, but, you know, his frustration, you could tell from his frustration that he knew he could have, you know, he could have done better, but he didn't. Japan, you know, they have a few players, you know, standing out so far in the tournament. You know, Ritsu, Doan, looking good. Nagatomo, as I mentioned. We have they actually switched up the lineup this time around as well. We have Kitagawa up top and Takumi, you know, with guys like Osako on the bench. You would expect Osako to be starting this game, you know, even Shiotani, you know, so they rotated the squad throughout the you know, the tournament. So for Vietnam, though, really, really good effort, as I said earlier. Very unlucky not to advance to the semi. So Japan, they will meet Iran in the semifinal, and Iran, who defeated China 3-0. And remember, guys, if some of you guys remember, I said I would like to see a better effort from Sada Azmoun. And maybe he watched my video and he, you know, he said, you know what, yeah, man, I need to put a better effort in. And he did. He definitely did. He was involved in the first 2 goals, which were, you know, defensive errors, both of them. All 3 of Iran's goals were defensive errors on China's part. And, you know, China pushed over, steamrolled by Iran as expected. My prediction for this match was, I think, a 2-0 win for Iran. I didn't expect anything different from Team Melli, and they went out there and performed really, really well. So Mehdi Taremi scored the first goal in the 18th minute, and it was a ball stole by Sada Azmoun. It was a goal kick, I think, and the Chinese defender, he was too comfortable, and he didn't expect Azmoun to, you know, steal the ball away from him. Azmoun did, you know, kept his poise, passed it to Taremi, who put it past the Chinese goalkeeper. The second goal, a similar goal, similar type of goal, but only this time Azmoun controlled it and he went around the keeper and got one for himself to make it 2-0. Iran, they had a lot more chances. It could have been a 4-0 or even 4-1 because Sada Azmoun, he was tested, I think, once. He had to pull off a big save once, I think. But all in all, it was mostly one-way traffic. You know, Iran, they were wasteful. Mehdi Taremi especially was wasteful. He had a ball to tap in and he wasn't able to do it. Azmoun had a header, I think, cleared off the line by the Chinese defender early on in the game, I think, if I can recall properly. But all in all, it was one-way traffic. Karim Ansi-Farad, he put the game to bed in the first minute of extra time. Another defensive error, and, you know, he slotted past the goalkeeper. In this game, Iran had 18 shots comparing to China's 5. Iran had 7 on target, one on target by China. So that tells you how, they weren't potent up top at all. 52% possession by Iran, 48 by China. So not bad at all. The passes, very, very close. 398 by Iran, 365 by China. So they were similar. It was mostly a battle in the midfield and in China's third of the field. So it was mostly Iran controlling the game, though. It was mostly Iran controlling the game because China, they did not make use of most of the possession they got. They give away the ball, and Iran punish them whenever they can. So Iran marched into the semifinals, and as I mentioned throughout the tournament, Iran are my favorites to win this thing. My favorites to win the tournament. I said this way back when the draw was actually made. Iran, Team Ellie, after they performed so well at the World Cup, I'm like, listen, man, I have to go for Iran to win this thing. They haven't won it since 1976. And at that time when they won it in 1976, they did it 3 times in a row. 68, 72, and 76. And as the Iranian followers told me yesterday, or the day before yesterday, they have not got to the finals ever since. So it was a very feisty game. 32 fouls, but only 2 yellow cards shown. So it wasn't nothing too, nasty between the two teams. It was a very, disciplined, let's say disciplined contest between both sides. You don't want to get sent off and, miss the semifinals. But Iran are into the semifinals to face Japan. Carlos Queiroz, I think he won't be with the team after the tournament. Let's wait and see, but I don't think he will be with the team, For China, their coach, Marcelo Lippi, 2 veteran coaches clashing against each other. I also think this might be Lippi's last tournament with China, if I'm not mistaken. But, who knows? Let's see. Jamie, what's going on with Lippi and China? Will he be there after the tournament? Because I did not look too much into that. But notable mention also the Japanese coach. I haven't been mentioning him. Moriyasu, I don't know much about him, but the coaches deserve mentioning. And Mr. Park of Vietnam. He sounds like a Korean. Yes, he's a Korean. Park Hang-seo, Korean coach who is in charge of Vietnam, did a really, really good job there. So notable mention to those 2 gentlemen. So on that side of the bracket, we have Iran playing Japan in the semi-finals. These 2 teams have history as well. They have history, and I did a bit of research, and these 2 teams have actually met on 20 previous occasions. 20. But I leave all the juicy details for when I do my semifinals and beyond video, which will be tomorrow. Hopefully, I want to get it out tomorrow. Monday is the semis, so I want to get it out tomorrow so I could get a little traction, So tomorrow will be the video talking about the semifinal fixtures in depth. The live streams have done really, really well, to my surprise. I didn't expect them to do so well, but they have done pretty okay, they have done pretty okay, and you guys seem to like the live streams. So let's move on to the other side of the bracket. South Korea 0 and Qatar 1. Guess what? What was my predictions, guys? What was my prediction? South Korea, Qatar. I predicted a 1-0 win for Qatar, but I did predict it after extra time, though. But Qatar managed to sneak a winner. A beautiful shot. I think it was a left-footed shot from way outside the box by Mr. Abdul Aziz Hatem. That was a really, really good goal. That was a good goal. So, someone said, Ahmad Parhizi, Dominic, you didn't predict Iran versus Japan. Just curious. No, I'm not predicting it now because But if you have been watching my previous videos and if you listen to what I just said, I'm saying that Iran are the favorites. So they definitely have the upper hand over Japan, who hasn't really shifted into third gear so far in the tournament. So I'm not doing my predictions in this video, but for those of you guys who have been following the videos know where I'm leaning towards. But tomorrow is for me to go more in depth with the semi-final fixtures. But let's get back to the South Korea-Qatar match. Qatar, I predicted a win for Qatar and they did not disappoint me. I actually got I actually got 3 out of 4 quarterfinals predictions correctly, but we'll get to that. Let's take it one at a time. South Korea, Qatar. Qatar won with a 78-minute goal by Abdul Aziz Hatem, to put the Maroons, the 2022 World Cup hosts, into the semifinal of the AFC Asian Cup. The first time ever they have qualified for the semis. It's a really, really great effort, and the boys are showing that, they can actually play football and they are not just, they just didn't buy the World Cup, So even if they bought the World Cup, they are showing that, they're going to go out there and represent Qatar very, very well. So in this game, South Korea did hit the post. They did hit the post, so the game could have gone anyway. Qatar and did not. They threatened, but it was not like previous games. I think South Korea were really wasteful, but Qatar were very, very good in defense, and they marshaled Sun very, very well. So in this game, South Korea 10 shots at goal, 2 on target, only 2. Qatar 11 shots at goal, 4 on target. South Korea bossed the possession with 61%, Qatar 39%. South Korea 540 passes, Qatar 362. There were 30 fouls in the game, 4 yellow cards, 2 for each side. So it was a feisty clash, very, very feisty. There were 5 corners taken by South Korea and only 1 by Qatar. So the game could have gone anyway, but it took just a moment of brilliance by Abdul Aziz Hatem, to put Qatar into the semifinals. A well-deserved semifinal, bout by Felix Sanchez and his boys. But South Korea, they will feel a bit, unlucky because they have played well at the tournament. Really, really well. They were unbeaten going into this match, and Mr. Bento, their coach, he will feel really, really unlucky. But we're saying that about South Korea, but Qatar, they are yet to concede a single goal at the tournament, just like Iran. They have scored 12 goals. Iran has scored 12 goals. And both these teams look like they are the teams that are going to meet in the final, And that's actually the final that I got, as you guys should know, if you've been watching the live stream, that's the final I got, a Qatar-Iran final. I got Iran to win the tournament, but if Qatar wins the tournament, I will be extremely satisfied with that. That will be really, really satisfying to see, and it will be something to actually talk about. It's newsworthy. Both of the results will be newsworthy because Iran hasn't won it since 1976, never got to the final since 1976, and what they did at the World Cup has been awesome. And as, my boy Red is saying right now, Heung-min Son could actually go back to Spurs where they need him. They really, really need him because they're going through an injury crisis over there, and I feel it for Spurs that they're going through an injury crisis. Why couldn't it be Liverpool going through that injury crisis right now, So we could catch him and leave him in the dust. But We don't want to catch him that way, though. We don't want to catch him that way. We want to catch him fair and square and pass them. But anyways, really good win by Qatar. And another noteworthy fact is that Almoez Ali has not scored in the last 2 games, you know. So he's still stuck on 7 goals. We have Sada Azmoun. I think he has 4 goals in the tournament. He has been on fire. And if Azmoun scores a hat-trick in the semifinals, or if he scores 2 braces, he can go on to be, you know, win the Golden Boot, you know, be the Golden Boot winner in the 2019 Asian Cup. So Almoez Ali has gone really, really cold. He has gone cold. So now that we are done with the South Korea-Qatar fixture, there ain't much to talk about. You know, 1-0. Let's talk about the host UAE versus Australia. And this one was a very dramatic one. Very, very dramatic. It ended in a 1-0 win for the UAE, the hosts, and Australia very, very unlucky to miss out on a semi-final place. I predicted a win for Australia because they look good going into the semi-finals, but the UAE, I guess, you know what I mean, they're riding their luck and they're using home court advantage really, really well. And they're into the semis. They're into the semis. I think they made it to the semis of the 2015 tournament as well. If I can recall, they placed 3rd at that tournament. Actually, yes, they placed 3rd at the 2015 event. So, which Australia won. So they knocked out the defending champions, which is a feat in itself. So in this game, we had the only goal scored by Ali Makbout in the 68th minute. And it was a gift by Mr. Degenek. It was a gift. And I think it's really hard. It's really a hard, you know, situation to be in because he was pressured. I think it was Mohammed Abdul Rahman, Omar's brother, and he was forced to make a back pass, which I think him and the goalkeeper Matt Ryan weren't on the same page, or he just did not hit it with enough strength, did not put enough power in it, you know. And Mr. Ali Makbout pounced on it, hit it past Matt Ryan, and that was the only goal of the game. Australia had their chances. They had their chances, but the UAE, they were resolute in defense. The UAE had their chances as well. But I think Australia should have won this game. They should have won this game. They really should have. But that one defensive error, you know, they have to pay for it. And I don't understand the decision not to start Mabil. I don't get that. He has been Australia's best player, in my opinion, at the tournament, and he should have started. He should have started the game. I don't know if he had a niggle, some kind of injury, or if he wasn't, you know, fit enough, or if he was tired. I don't know what it is, but he should have started. Should have definitely started this game to give them their best chance because he was really good creatively. The runs he was making, the balls he was putting in the box, and his youth. He looks like he could run for the whole 90 minutes, and he didn't start the game. And, you know, I think Australia paid for that mistake as well. So UAE 1-0 into the semifinals. Ali Makbout on the score sheet again. I think he should get to 50 international goals with that goal, or 51. I think he should reach 50 already because he has been the, you know, go-to man up top. He has been real dangerous. Also, Al-Hamadi has been really lively as well. You know, let me see. Well, Wikipedia is saying 48, but Wikipedia isn't always correct. It's not always correct, but Ali Makbout has been the danger man up top, though. He has definitely been UAE's danger man. So Mata started the game today as well. And he came off, I think, just early in the second half, he came off. So he was actually, he's a veteran, so he gave the UAE team a bit of backbone as well. So Al Hamadi was threatening. Mata looked good. Makbout, his dangerous self. Khalid Isa, really, really good in goal again. But I guess, whoever scores the most goals deserves to be in the semis, and it's not who looked better in the game because in this game, Australia had 22 shots at goal. 22! You heard me right, 22, with only 2 on target. So you see how wasteful they were. They weren't potent enough, they weren't clinical enough is the word I should say. And the UAE only had 7 shots at goal with 2 on target. 7 with 2 on target. Australia 64% of the possession, UAE 36. Australia 494 passes with 80% pass completion. The UAE 293 passes with a 264 with a 64% pass completion. So you see, Australia controlled the game. The UAE were mostly on the back foot, and if it wasn't for that terrible mistake by Deganek, which which is actually gonna play back in their minds over and over again, Australia would have been the team in the semifinals like I predicted. The game had 24 fouls with 2 yellow cards for each team. Australia, 11 corners. You telling me you had 11 corners and you couldn't do anything with one of them? That's 11 set pieces, my brother. 11 set pieces. Comparing to the UAE's 3 corners. So, so Australia will be kicking themselves that they did not make it, to the semis. And what I was actually saying to myself, this Australia team, comparing to the Aussie teams that went to the previous Asian Cups, 2007, 11, and 15, this one looked the worst. This one looked the worst out of all 4. No really big standout players in the team, Tim Cahill, missing man, of course, he retired late last year. And all the other teams had somebody they could have really, depended on. This team lacked that, in my opinion. Definitely. Lacked that, in my opinion. So, now that we have spoken about all 4 of these quarterfinal fixtures, we now know who will play in the semifinals. It will be Japan against Iran and the UAE versus Qatar. And the UAE versus Qatar one is a very, very tricky one because these 2 countries have not been seeing eye to eye. The Qatari fans weren't even granted permission into the UAE, even the media. At least that's what I read. I read that. I don't know, you guys might say something different, but they weren't even granted access to the UAE. You know what I'm saying? And I read that Qatar hasn't been, in good relations with Saudi Arabia, with Egypt, and a few other countries because of Qatar's alliance with Iran, so, it's getting political in the Asian Cup. But, I could actually see these 2 teams meeting in the finals. Iran and Qatar meeting in the finals, The UAE-Qatar fixture could be an opportunity for Qatar to maybe, silence the UAE or pay back against the UAE for not even letting their fans in, the media in so they could cover the Asian Cup. And that's just the narrative I see, you know what I'm saying? I see Qatar has been more impressive than the UAE at this tournament. By far. By far, far, far. No debate about that. And for the Japan has been not so impressive, but Iran, on the other hand, has been total opposite of Japan. So I'm definitely going for Iran-Qatar final. It's going to be a big final, and whoever wins it fully deserves it. But getting to the final for Qatar, getting to the final for Iran will be a big achievement for both sides. So guys, if there's anything that I failed to mention, we could talk about it in the chat right now. I'm reading your comments. If there's any football news you would like to talk about, we could actually talk about that real quick for like the next 15 minutes. You know, we could do that. We could do that. We could chop it up a little. What do you guys actually think? You know, we're done with the Asian Cup, the main talk of the Asian Cup right now. We could relax and talk about some other things. But, oh, I forgot to mention another thing. That Australia-UAE game, that actually went to 10 minutes extra time, though. That is crazy. That went to 10 minutes extra time. Like another match, I think it was a Lebanon-North Korea game, went a very long distance in extra time. That has been happening a lot, you know, at this tournament. I'm glad that they brought in VAR. You know, it had turned around some decisions. You know, a few teams actually scored, you know, and then their goals were disallowed. But rightfully as well, rightfully. So VAR, hats off to VAR. And, you know, okay. Taremi suspended. What do you think? Okay, I'm not too fully aware of that, but did Mehdi Taremi pick up yellow cards to get suspended? Because I couldn't remember that when he went down in the box for that penalty. It looked like he dove. Yeah, he picked up a yellow card there. So he picked up a yellow card in that quarterfinal game against China, and against Oman. Did he pick up a yellow card too? No, he didn't. Isn't the yellow cards getting thrown out from the group stages? They should, right? The yellow cards should get thrown out in the group stages. But I only see one yellow card for Taremi right now. Okay, he has 2 yellow cards in the tournament so far. One against Vietnam and one against China. So does that mean he will miss the semifinals? Is that what you're saying? But my man has been very on point with the facts though. What do you guys say on that? Is he banned? Is he banned for the... Whoa, this is another piece of news again. Awema Bill's sister died in a car accident before the game. Wow. So Emiliano Sala, they haven't found the plane as yet. The plane that went down, they did not find the plane. So he is presumed dead. You know, I presumed him dead since I saw the news. I'm like, he's a goner. I'm like, it's sad. It's really, really sad. But it's something to learn from, that players could learn from, and everyone could learn from. Stop taking these small planes in very, you know, in inclement weather. Stop it. You know what I'm saying? If the weather is bad, you can't take those small planes. They just can't hold up. They just can't hold up, you know? Most of the times when you see a plane crash on the news, local news, it's one of those small planes. They crash all the time. But Emiliano Sala, I even saw that they reduced the price of his FIFA Ultimate Team card, and there is no more Salah cards on FIFA Ultimate Team. I tried to pick one up. I should have picked one up when, when I just read the news, but there were none left. None. EA will bring out a SBC for him though. Once everything is, once it is confirmed that he is no longer with us, they will do an SBC. I think they did one with Davide Astori. So they will do one with Salah. Definitely will do one with Salah. Salah, yes. So anything else worthy of talking about? Another thing, and guys, as I mentioned in a few live streams ago, I want to do live streams where we just talk about football news. That's all we're going to talk about, football news, so we could actually know what's going on in football. Almost everything. Because sometimes you don't know what's going on. Things pass, things, go over our heads and we don't even realize it. So if we could dedicate a live stream like once a week, sit down 1 hour and just talk about all the football news. You guys could throw in some news. I'll have the news right here and we're going to talk about it. And it will be fun. It will be fun. It will be very educational and informative. What about Japan and Qatar in the Copa America? How will they do? Check out my Copa America video predictions, early reaction and early predictions as well. But guys, Thierry Henry, the Arsenal legend, French legend, sacked by Monaco. What do you guys think about that? That one was like, oh, wow. Now he's probably regretting not taking that job for Aston Villa, I think, was offering him the job. And actually, he's probably regretting leaving his post as the assistant coach of the Belgium team, where if he stayed there, he could have, get more experience. But then again, how much more experience do you need to get? Because he was a player for many years. That's a lot of valuable experience as well. But when you're a coach looking at things from the outside, you can't do nothing about it with your feet. You know what I'm saying? Because you're a really good player. You can't do nothing about it. You have to use your tactics, strategies, your head. Your decisions is what influence games. And obviously have not been making good decisions. He tried. He really tried. He brought in Naldo from Schalke. He brought in Fabregas and a few other players. He was trying to turn this team around, struggling team, sacked Leonardo Jardim, who did so well with the team a couple seasons ago. But Monaco, you're going to struggle. Any team that are going to constantly sell their best players season after season, they're going to struggle. It's going to happen. It's bound to happen. And not that Monaco does not have, a good like bit of youngsters in their team to come through, and that they don't go out and recruit, really good players. It's just that it takes time for those players now to come and adapt to French football and get, up to speed with things. And they have really struggled. This is a team who won the freaking League On title a few seasons ago. This is a team who won the League On title, and now you're staring down, the barrel of relegation. That's not good. That is not good. You sold too many players, influential players. But then again, they had to, because these guys will be becoming too big for Monaco if you really look at it, But it is what it is, man. It is what it is. It is what it is. And somebody has to pay, and Henry has now been sacked, and the former coach, Leonardo Jardim, has been brought back in. So Monaco are going back to, basics with Jardim to try to save them from embarrassment. So, okay. Anything else we could talk about again? What else is there to talk about? Tottenham Hotspur and their, injury crisis going on. How far behind will they fall from the bunch, because it's affecting them. It's definitely affecting them. They're looking like one-trick pony with Harry Kane. If Harry Kane ain't up top, it seems like they're always gonna struggle. Right now, they are third in the table, 51 points. Not bad, but you know they were above City just the other day when we were losing. Tottenham were ahead of us. Now we have 56 points. Liverpool are 60 points, 23 games. Liverpool only got like 70 something points last season. That's amazing though. You know, still 15 matches to go and they're on 60. Amazing. Man City still doing well despite being behind Liverpool. You know, but I think the title race will only be between these two teams. Man City, my team, Liverpool, you know, on fire right now. To be completely honest, they are on fire. From the beginning of the season, you know, only losing one game to Manchester City. So that's another talking point there. When is the UEFA Nations League? Sometime in June, the UEFA Nations League is going to come back with the semi-finals. Semi-final. We have England, Netherlands, Switzerland, and Portugal in the semi-finals. Netherlands looking good. It would be crazy if the Netherlands go on to win that tournament, though. It will be insane. It will be what you call a true renaissance of, you know, this very, very young Dutch team. Portugal, Switzerland in June, and Netherlands versus England. Oh, could England win a major trophy? That's the thing. That would be big for them as well. Okay. Is Neymar going to Barcelona? Well, in my opinion, Neymar should have never left Barcelona. But the thing is, when you have a gigantic figure like Lionel Messi there, you will always be in his shadow. And Neymar, in his own right, is a big star. So you don't want to, you know, you from Brazil, Messi from Argentina, two rivals. You don't want to be in the shadow of Argentina, you know what I'm saying? So he had to leave. He had to leave. I would definitely like to see him go to Real Madrid. That would be something that I would love to see. Not him going back to Barca, but him going on the opposite side, you know, to face Messi and then boys over at Barca. That will be a good contest. And that will, you know, I actually would love to see that happening instead of, you know, him going back to Barcelona. Why is named Copa America? Well, Copa means cup, isn't it? So American Cup, South American Cup. Simple as that. Simple as that. Who is your favorite team in the championship? I don't have any favorite team in the championship. To be completely honest, none. Dom, have you seen that CONMEBOL qualifiers will be from March of 2020 to November of 2021, which means that the Intercontinental Playoffs will most likely be in March of 2022. No, I have not really looked at that as yet. I haven't looked at that. Definitely haven't. Okay, so Arthur, okay, King Persia is saying, can't say that first name. Your admins are Arabs and block Iranian fans and stop commenting. Please solve this. I don't know about that. I don't think I will give admin to people who will actually do these things. And if you're saying things you're not supposed to say in the chat that will cause, you know, people to feel uncomfortable, maybe that's why they're deleting your comments. Think about that. Think about that. But I don't think that there's anybody in here that's doing that. You know, I only have a few Arabic moderators. Not a lot. You know what I'm saying? So that's another incorrect statement right there. Definitely incorrect. Okay. I'll only block, the only person I'll block is Daniel Refi. That's a good one. AR Mo. What's up, man? What's up, ARMO? You've been dropping some gems in the comment section. Thank you very much. Jamie did that to me. All right, Jamie. Well, I don't know why Jamie did that to you, but maybe you said something that you weren't supposed to say. I don't know. I am not sure. But I didn't block anybody, and because I haven't been reading every single thing in the comment section. But guys, I haven't been, I would not give up moderator to people like that. Believe me. So if there's any mods in here who are wrongfully blocking or deleting people's comments, refrain from doing so. Give them a warning first. Give them a warning. Okay, so Alexis scored and celebrated versus Arsenal. I was actually reading something about the build up to that game, and then when I checked, I was like, oh shoot, the game finished. United won 3-1. Alexis scored, Martial and Rashford, I think, were on the score sheet for Man United. And I expect Alexis to do something like that because they probably booed him. So I expect him to do something like that. And it actually probably feels good for him to score against Arsenal. Definitely. Definitely. But I do think Alexis Sanchez should have taken the call to come to Man City. He would have been such a great addition over there, but he made the call to go to United. Missed out on winning a trophy. Just remember that, a Premier League title, missed out on that. And then he missed out on potentially winning back-to-back titles, so sorry. Same goes to Fred. But I'm actually glad we did not get Fred, because I don't think that Fred could do the job that Fernandinho is doing right now. I don't think he can. Definitely don't think he can, so. All right. What else do you guys want to talk about? Are you African? No, I'm not African. I'm from the West Indies. I am from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And am I African? No. And I do think, and if you guys want to know what something I do truly think, I think I'm originally from St. Vincent and the Grenadines, because there were people living on the island before, the colonizers came in, and there were black people living in the islands before, a people called the Black Caribs, the Garifuna people. And I don't think I'm African at all. Not that I have anything against Africans or whatnot, but I think I have to do a DNA test to prove all of that, though. A DNA test should prove. Okay, Sami Kiani. When I hear West Indies, I have to think on cricket. And talking about that, West Indies, they are playing England cricket team right now, and they are completely smashing them in a test match. A test match is a format of a cricket match that goes on for 5 days. It goes on for 5 days. The two teams, bat for 2 innings, called innings. And if it finishes, it could finish in 1 day. It could finish in 2 days. But most of the time, the earliest a test match finishes it's in 2 days. But the West Indies completely smashing England right now. And for those of you guys who know about cricket, West Indies batted first. They didn't do too well. They made 279, I think. And then they dismissed England for 77. It's embarrassing when you get dismissed for under 100. Appalling stuff by England. And then the West Indies went back in, and they were 126 for 6. And I was like, oh man, West Indies are at it again. But their captain and their wicketkeeper pulled off heroics. The captain, who is actually a bowler, he made 200 runs. 200! And the wicketkeeper made 100. I was actually watching that game today. Earlier today, I was watching some cricket. Haven't watched some cricket in a very, very long time. So it was fun. It was fun watching England get smashed to pieces. In the West Indies. They're actually playing in the West Indies right now. It would have been nice to be back there over in Barbados, sipping on some rum and watching a lovely game of cricket. So, okay. Are you a professional soccer player? Asked Andy Joe. No, I'm not. If I was a professional soccer player, my channel would have had over 100,000 subscribers because I would have been known. But no, I'm not. I'm not. So Vincentian stock French Creole, no. Okay, once upon a time, they used to be owned by the French. They used to be owned by the French. And I think it's like Vincent. Vincent is actually a French name. So they used to be owned by French, but then the British, you know, the British and the French always fought for the islands, and the British took over St. Vincent. The British also took over St. Lucia, our neighbors, and Grenada, and all the islands used to speak some sort of a French Creole, but St. Vincent no longer do, but St. Lucia still does speak a broken French dialect, what they call, you know, patois, you know, French patois. So my wife is actually from St. Lucia. She speaks a little bit of that. She understands it, though. So what happened, Kevin Prince Boateng? Okay, that's another thing, guys. And as I mentioned, we are gonna, when the month is up, transfer window is closed, I'm gonna dedicate a live stream for us to just talk about the transfers, look at all the transfers and let you know what I think about them, hear what you guys think about them. It's very important to hear what you guys think. That's very important. Not only what I think, what you guys think. But we are going to talk about, you know, thank you, Danny Referee, man. The live stream is going to be over very soon anyway. But, you know, Boateng, Kevin Prince Boateng, even though his move to Barcelona is, you know, has been a bit delayed, you know, seeing that he's past 30 already. I like the move. I like the move, you know. And Barcelona, I mean, bringing in quality players, you know, without spending a lot is good for the team. In case they have an injury crisis, they have people they can rely on with experience. And Kevin Prince Boateng, he was a beast. Maybe not so much anymore, but I could recall the 2010 World Cup. Remember, he was part of that Ghanaian team that got all the way, you know, to the quarterfinals, almost into the semis. I think he did play for Ghana back then. And he probably, I think there was one time at the World Cup when Prince Boateng played versus his brother, Jerome Boateng. It was awesome. It was awesome. It was awesome. So A.R. Moses, how do I become moderator, man? Just keep showing up and keep leaving those great comments, and I will definitely look into it. You know, definitely. What do you think about Man City signing Zach Steffen, Polo Just? I think they just do. To be honest, I think it's it's like a city group. I think they're just doing it to acquire players, send them out on loan, because I don't think he's ever going to play for Man City. I might be wrong. But I don't see Zach Steffen play for Man City. Man City have signed quite a bit of players recently who might never play for Man City. I think that Aaron Moy was signed by Man City. He never made an appearance. They just loaned him out, you know. I think it's business. It's all business. I don't think he will be playing for Man City, though. Man City don't know what to do with all that money. But then again, financial fair play, you can't, even though you have a lot of money, you can't really do what you want with it because people are watching now, you know. Just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. All right, Andy Joe asks, what are you going to see in 4 years? I don't understand that. But anyways, what is your best part of your life? Well, the best part of my life is actually, you know, having children. I do have kids. I have 3 kids, and just spending time with them, watching them grow up, you know. I hope I live for a very long time to see them grow up, you know. That's one of the best parts of my life. And of course, you know, talking about football with you guys, but going to work is not one of my most enjoyable things. I would love to be at home making money, doing something else and just relaxing. Who wants to go to work though? Who wants to go to work? Okay. Qatar looks very good and athletic. Goran, man. What's up? What's up, Goran? What's up? Thoughts on Solskjaer winning 8-8? It's awesome, man. It's showing how bad, United were when Mourinho was in charge. That's just what it's doing. It's showing up Mourinho big time. Showing him up big time. Do you think Carlos Queiroz will help Colombia win the Copa America? I heard he's taking over Colombia after. Right? Right? Well, he's a defensive type of coach, but we could see. Colombia has a good shot at winning the Copa America, but I don't see them toppling Brazil if they meet in the finals. Brazil just too damn good. They're just too damn good. They produce too many good talent, man. Too many good players. The players are just unbelievable, man. Just top-notch players. Top-notch. Okay. Iran will win trophy. Please don't block me. Okay, now I see why. Maybe now I see why somebody deleted your message. Maybe you were spamming. Maybe you were spamming and annoying the person who blocked you. Maybe that it was. Maybe that's what it was. Okay. Would you like to see Beran Van in Europe? Obviously, man. Definitely. I would like to see him, but he has to make a move to one of the smaller clubs first. Maybe like Belgium, one of the smaller leagues in Belgium, or the Eredivisie, or even go to Turkey with one of the smaller clubs. Greece, who knows? But I just noticed a transfer. The Croatian keeper, Lovre Kalinic, he got signed by Aston Villa. And he was at, I think it was Genk in the Belgian league. And you see that? Impressive performances. Bam, Aston Villa pick you up. Next season, what if Aston Villa gets promoted to the Premier League? Then he will be playing in the Premier League. So you got to start somewhere and then move up. How will Paraguay do with Osario? I don't think, well, first you have, I don't rate the Paraguayan team that highly at all. If you go and you watch my predictions, Copa America predictions, Paraguay could have qualified for the World Cup, They could have. If they had won that final game, which I think they lost, they could have qualified for the World Cup by just sneaking in. But I don't think they have the quality to trouble most of these teams. They just have to prove me wrong, though. Definitely got to prove me wrong. All right, so looking at questions. But anyways, guys, we are now almost an hour live stream. I think I'm going to leave it right there. It's now 10 o'clock my time. I want to, have the next hour to myself before I head on upstairs to, meet the wife. So that's it for now. Tomorrow, guys, I want to stop by really quick to do a live stream to talk about the semifinals. Might be around 45 minutes live stream just to talk about the two fixtures and how both, how all four teams have played so far at the tournament. Look at the lineups and everything, and look at the players. It's an in-depth, analysis of all four teams. You know what I'm saying? So come back tomorrow for more. If you haven't checked out some of my Asian Cup videos, check the playlist. It has all the videos from the Asian Cup. Go check it out. I really appreciate that. And I really appreciate everyone who joined today. If you haven't smashed the thumbs up button yet, please do so. It helps, so that YouTube could say, oh, people are interested in this video. People like this video. Let me recommend this video to this guy and that girl and that man over there. So that's why it's important that you smash the thumbs up button on the videos. I'm not just saying that for you to like the video, it's, if you like it, like it. You know what I'm saying? If you like me, like the video. Simple as that. But guys, man, thank you very much for stopping by again. The Asia Cup has been awesome. We have been treated with many mouth-watering fixtures, and I think there are still 4 more very good fixtures to come. 2 semifinals, a third place, and a grand final. So guys, I'm your boy Dominic Rich, and until next time, I like to say peace out. Rich Squad.